Man, who would have thought? I guess everything ain't all sweet being on Canelo's team. Canelo Alvarez throwing shots at Ryan Garcia. Said, look, Ryan has a lot of talent, but to me, in my eyes, he's wasting a lot of time and wasting his talent. I look at him and don't see him 100% dedicated, and to us, that's a bad signal. Well, to be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure if that's even throwing shots at Ryan. To be honest with you, it kind of is, considering that he's, well, he ain't in the hospital no more, but he just had surgery on his right hand, and, he's sitting out because of that. So that's one thing. But I told you guys, earlier this year, February, whatever, when Ryan Garcia came out talking all that mess, then turned around and had to sit down because he was saying anxiety, that wasn't a good look. But anyway, we'll get back to that later. Oscar De La Hoya responded to what Canelo Alvarez said, and this is what Oscar had to say. There are many times when a fighter cannot step inside the ring due to circumstances which are out of their control. This is one of those times for Ryan. I look forward to seeing him back in the ring as soon as he is able. I know he will be back with the strong desire to show that he is better than ever. Now that's great and all. It really is, because like I said, he broke his hand. It happens. He's a boxer. At some point, it's a good chance that that's going to happen. But I don't think Canelo was really talking about what Ryan is going through right now. It seems like and don't get me wrong, I can't put Ryan by himself in this boat, but it seems like he magnifies it. We've had so many missed opportunities in boxing, especially at 135. But it seems like Ryan is the epitome of this, because we've heard him talk so much smack about other fighters, two other fighters. I'll do this, I'll do that. For example, his most recent one, Devin Haney, he got his win over Linares, right? And pretty much a landslide victory, except for maybe 1 or 2 rounds when he got clipped in 1 round for sure. So he probably won like 10-2 in the fight. I'll say about 118 to 102, something like that. And the first thing Ryan Garcia said, man, if you look like that, I would have knocked you out. No, actually his exact words were, I would have slept you, when they handed him the mic at ringside of Devin Haney versus Linares. But strangely enough, Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell fought for the WBC mandatory spot. And when Ryan Garcia won the fight, he turned the Devin Haney fight down. But you said you would knock the man out. Tank Davis, he spent a year and a half calling out Tank Davis. Tank Davis, nah, you too young, you're not ready. Oscar De La Hoya, nah, Ryan, you're not ready, you too young. He spent a year and a half calling out Tank Davis. Then when the fight is being negotiated, all of a sudden, I got a fight with Manny Pacquiao ready to be put up. But yet, Oscar De La Hoya's promoter know nothing about it. Oscar De La Hoya and his team, Golden Boy, know nothing about it. Manny Pacquiao himself, his team came out and said, we know nothing about it. But yet he kept pushing the narrative that he had a fight with with Manny Pacquiao. So just then that dies down. Okay, we want Tank again, right? Now, mind you, Canelo Alvarez said back then, he is not ready for Tank Davis. That was the advice he gave Ryan Garcia. It was all over social media, right? But he insisted he wanted Tank Davis. Once again, when the negotiations start popping off, oh, I got anxiety. I got to go sit down for a couple weeks or whatever, or a month or so, and figure out, I might retire and all this. And look, if the man has anxiety, I feel for him. That's an ugly disease to go through, if you want to call it a disease. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's starting to pile up. It seems like it's just too many reasons for him not to be involved with his craft at certain times. I mean, come on, if you're going to be talking that kind of smack, you can't be turning down fights. That's ridiculous, man. And remember this? Speaking of diva-ish behavior, remember this? Oh, nah, Oscar, unless you pay me this, that, and the third amount of money or make me a headliner, I'm not fighting. I'm taking some time off. I'm leaving Golden Boy. I mean, nah, man. And I ain't gonna front. I ain't Oscar De La Hoya's biggest fan. But Oscar didn't do nothing to him. Oscar been treating that man right. Oscar actually has been protecting Ryan because he could have easily thrown him in that Tank Davis fight. And he probably would have got knocked out. Ryan had, especially when Ryan first started calling him out, he had no experience whatsoever. None. The biggest fight he have to this date is Luke Campbell, but he ain't had nothing close to that at the time when he was calling out Tank. Tank even said, I'll fight him, but I ain't fighting that dude right there. He too young, man. I'll hurt him. Give him a chance to grow. You don't believe me? Hold up, I'll play it.
You had exchanges through Instagram as well. Is that still something you would be looking forward to?
I wanted to let him grow first. I don't want to let him grow. No, just let him mature out. I don't want to give him that. I want to see what he is like 2 years or 3 years from now. That's not a fight that I want now. Because he's still a kid. What do I want?
So because he's a kid, do you think maybe you wouldn't get much credit?
That's from a video I did like a year and a half ago when Ryan kept calling him out. But like I said, Tank Davis actually spared that man. He could have just went ahead and basically ruined his career. Because the last thing you want one of your young fighters to do is get a devastating knockout put on them early in their career. So he really did spare him. But like I was saying though, in my opinion, I believe Canelo's starting to see. Plus, Canelo probably seen his work ethic at that, like up close and personal when he's in camp, when they're doing, because remember, a lot of times what fighters in the same stable would do, they'll come to each other's camp and try to help each other out, especially if they don't have anything going on as far as the fight coming up. So, Canelo might actually, when Ryan is preparing for a fight, he might actually be in there with the Reynoso father-son tandem, giving Ryan pointers. Matter of fact, I know that to be the case. So he's seen Ryan in action up close and personal as far as training goes, and the man just said he don't like what he sees. So to me, that's bad news for Ryan Garcia, and it probably hurt to hear Canelo say that. But he's being honest to you. That's what real friends do. Because, like I said, he said it himself. You're not ready for Tank. Ryan better get himself together. And, because, like I told y'all before, the last thing, if he got anxiety, whatever. But the last thing a boxer should be talking about is they have anxiety. You should go ahead and get out the sport if that's the case. But I don't even think Canelo's talking about that personally. I think he's talking about his work ethic. But all of this plays its part. You always finding a reason not to fight. Like the man said, you're wasting time. But that's pretty much all I got. This head busting boxes on Fight Doctor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know. Is Canelo Alvarez right about Ryan Garcia? Is he wasting too much time? Is he coming up with excuses not to fight? Does he have a poor work, or do you believe he has a poor work ethic? Because if you think about it, really, if you watch his technique ain't that great. It's that speed that'll kill you. But hey, what do I know? But that's pretty much all I got. This head busting boxes on Fight Doctor. I am out.